Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for Aries, Sun, Rising, and possibly your Moon too. Definitely your Rising, but of course your Sun. I'm so excited to be doing zodiac readings again. There was a time where my guidance was to focus on the human design profile readings, and I did, and it's been great. So also be sure to check out your human design profile reading, because not every Aries is a 2-4 or a 5-1 or whatever. So it's just an additional source of information, put stories together, whatever. So anyway, is there anything else I want to say? I can't think of anything. So let's get you an oracle card, and then we will get your tarot cards. Ooh, diving for light. Beautiful. It's a number 11, new beginnings. It's interesting because it's like, because there's all of these seahorses around, it feels very watery, which, right? I mean, you're a fire sign, but this does feel a lot about getting into your feels, and that's where the light is. Because, when we think of light, we would think probably more flame than water. But it literally, I mean, there's all of these bubbles. I mean, this person looks like they're probably underwater. Mermaidy, Interesting. Let's get your tarot out. See if any more water cards come out. How do you feel about getting into your feels? Like, as a fire sign, we have the 7 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, 2 of Wands. Interesting, because just, that distraction for a split second, things go crazy. The Queen of Wands. We only take the cards that come out of the deck. We don't take the cards that flip. That is way too many. We just need 2. 4 of Cups. It's too many. More. And then I'm going to go blow my nose. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Cards flying everywhere. One more. The 9 of Wands. 7 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. All right, so let me make sure everything is in frame. Take care of my nose. And then we'll start talking about you. Okay, so let me see. Let's see what the book has to say. I opened right to the page. All right. So it says, how brave you are. You're diving for light. It can be so much simpler to seek light in the heavenly, in that which is blissful, sweet, loving, and kind. To look for the light in that which is dark is an advanced task that only a rebellious and brave heart will attempt. You may not feel that you have taken such a journey by choice, yet you have taken this wise challenge on from deep within your soul. Your innermost being has evoked this situation in your life with the intention that you grow in power, wisdom, and creative juice. It also wants you to experience a bold and fearless trust in life and become further empowered to live it with zest and courage. The Oracle of Diving for Light speaks of a time when you are called into darkness through life circumstances, situations, relationship challenges, or inner struggles that defy clear understanding. That darkness might be a creative block, a sense of being in a void, or feelings of depression, rage, sadness, fear, or anxiety. There may or may not be an obvious cause. The darkness might be generally accepted or socially acknowledged because there is a socially accepted or obvious reason for it, such as a death, divorce, or retrenchment. However, there may be no obvious justification for your experience of darkness. You might not need a reason to be able to accept it. Likewise, you may struggle to find an unconditional acceptance of your experience. You know what's interesting? Like, as I was reading about that, I remembered that the North Node and Chiron are in Aries right now. So if you have your sun there, if it is your rising, even if you have a moon, if you have any placements in Aries at all, placements meaning like if you have planets in there, even if you don't, right? I mean, we all have Aries in our chart, but literally, I mean, like the dance that those two are doing is very much about diving for light. Chiron is a wounded healer, right? It's our life's quote unquote wound. And the North Node is what you are coming into this life to accomplish or learn or master, or, you know, an energy to be in. So wherever that is in your chart, it's like, you know, recognizing wounds that you might have around your purpose, especially whatever area of your chart that's in. Like for me, that's the 10th house. So it's about work, vocation, how I express myself, you know, how I present myself outwardly. And what's interesting is like this is the time where I decided to change the way a little bit that I do these videos. For one, I'm reintroducing zodiac readings, and for two, putting my face out there, which 2 years ago, absolutely not. I was so convinced that I was never gonna show my face on here. And part of that is self-judgment, self-criticism, self blah blah blah, right? But then the North Node and Chiron are in my 10th house, and this is something that I do for quote unquote work, right? It's how I'm showing up in the world. It's how you know me, right? Like, I mean, you might know me in our personal lives, but otherwise, this is how you know me. So it's interesting because doing this way, putting my face out there, it is healing something. It's being vulnerable. It's doing something I did not think that I would ever do. So again, you know, that's just an example. Maybe there's some area in your life, depending on, of course, where Aries is in your chart, especially if it is your first house, if you're a rising Aries, and this is all to do about you, your identity, your expression, how you want to express that, what wounds are around that. So I absolutely love that. And especially too, like I was saying, diving for light. This is literally diving within your emotional body. It's not looking outside of yourself for that. So we start with the Seven of Pentacles. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our physical time. Where are we spending our physical time? Where are we physically showing up in our lives? It's also our physical body and our health. And since it's a pentacle, it's anything that we put worth on, self-worth, the things that we value in our lives, the possessions that we have. And the Seven of Pentacles is about focusing your time, your resources on a task in order to benefit from it in some capacity. Because, and it's also too about having the resources to do that, because I keep kind of getting this, like, she has the oven, she has enough flour, eggs, whatever, to make these loaves of bread. And there's an abundance of that, right? There's plenty. So it's kind of that energy of like, what you put in, you get back. Even though that's definitely more of like Six of Pentacles, and even, like working on a task to master it is more Eight of Pentacles. I'm getting both of those from the Seven of Pentacles. It's, just the mixture of those things in this card. Even too, I'm getting this feeling of being prepared. Having things like having systems, having, again, resources, having enough time. There's something about preparation, like, because again, there's all of these loaves of bread here. There's nobody else in this picture yet. So eventually people are going to come to buy these loaves of bread. Or, they're going to be sent off to a bakery or something, right? But there is this feeling of preparation, preparing for something. Even this Queen of Wands feels preparatory. Preparatory, is that the right word? Wands are fire. We do have we have four wands on the table, which is, fire. So that is your element. Wands are about action. It's the motivation behind the actions that we take. Creativity, passion. How are we communicating those things? What actions are we taking towards those things? I also see wands as being information, because that's what we get by trying things. We figure out what works, what doesn't work, what do we like, what don't we like, what stays, what goes. And the only way to figure those things out is by trying things, by taking action towards something. So queens for me are when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves. We recognize the energy, we master the energy within ourselves, because we have to understand the energy before we can share it and become an authority or a leader in the subject, right? So that's when we move on to being a king. So with this, there's this campfire here. They're holding this little fire. I keep calling it a nymph. I don't know if that's the right term for it, but this little fire being in their hand. It looks like they're even sitting in meditation. So it could even just be getting clear on what it is you want to do and how you want to do it. What are you passionate about, and how do you want to express that passion? Or how do you want to express your creativity? This is like really kind of this honing in vibe, and again, mastering it. Even along with the Seven of Pentacles, this preparation vibe to it, like getting clear, preparing. But the fire's already started. And so what is it that you want to create out of this fire that's already going? There is this vibe of birthing something, and that doesn't have to be like a human. It can be. I mean, there's nothing specifically on the table that talks about, reproduction biologically, but like I'm thinking, I just kind of got this ping about a bun in the oven with the Seven of Pentacles. They're holding this little fire person at the womb area, just, around the sacral, around the root, the solar plexus, just all in that area. Preparation. If there's a bun in the oven, then we are preparing for that bun to come out of the oven at some point, right? So preparation is huge. I don't know why, that's, I guess even too, I feel like that was a little bit of what diving for light was talking about. So we have the Nine of Cups next, which is wish fulfillment. Your desires being met. Loving your life. Cups, again, have to do with our emotions. Heart center. Love, right? I mean, like, how do we feel about our lives? How do we feel about the people in our lives? Do we love what we're doing? Do we love what's growing in each one of those cups? Even to the thought of propagation, because we trim plants, put them in water so they grow roots and we can multiply them. It's so interesting that this vibe keeps like coming through of like preparation, but also multiplication. When was the last time that I even actually said that word out loud? I can't even tell you. Reproduction. Because even, these loaves of bread are multiplying. She started with one, now there's 7, at least, because it is a 7 of Pentacles. We have the 9 of Cups. Nines are individual completion. This is you feeling like you have built or come to a point in your life that you love it. You love what you're doing. You love the people around you. This is, making that list of what would be my perfect life. This is that perfect life. Feeling content. And it's paired with the 4 of Cups, which is, I mean, they look kind of bored, maybe disappointed, lethargic. That is the 4 of Cups. It's like there's just something missing. Because we have these 3 cups down here. I'm not even sure if those cups are visible to that person either. I mean, they're looking away from this 1 cup up here, the Ace of Cups. That's usually considered to be like an offering or gift from the universe, or even just, there's something that you're not seeing yet, or maybe it's not visible to you yet, but it's like whatever was in these 3 cups, you're kind of just like, thanks, but no. So then there's this 4th cup here, but it's like, if your focus is on what has been so disappointing about these cups, you won't see that there is this 4th cup there. Even with this being paired with the 9 of Cups, it's like maybe there is some satisfaction in your life, but you're like, there's just that thing that's missing. Whatever it is for you. What's so interesting too is like this branch, these 2 branches right here look like legs. So it's like that this person is sitting on top of a proverbial person. Because I kept hearing in my head when I said, like it feels like there's something missing. I kept hearing in my head another person, and I'm literally like arguing with that in my head because that's never the thing that's missing. We think that it is because we're so conditioned to look outside of ourselves for that validation, the stimulation, the you know self esteem, security, right? All of the things, because we feel like we don't have that on our own. I can assure you that's not it. There's a difference between like the want or need for connection, because I think, as human beings, we inherently do want connection, but when it comes to I can't be whole without another person, or I can't do this without another person, or my life isn't going to be complete until I find, this other person. That's where it starts for me anyway, and that's why I don't do relationship readings, because my concern is you. It starts with us, right? We have to be whole and complete and whatever with ourselves before we can even know what we would want out of another person, what we're capable of giving, what we even want to receive, which is even more important than what we're capable of giving. Right? So, anyway, it's just interesting though that on this card it looks like there are these legs. Because even that, it would be like, that's not enough. If the idea is that what we're missing is another person, it's like it's been there. Maybe we've had an experience with it, but it's not it. But then there's that one cup up there, which even goes back to diving for light. Let me see. And like I said, like with the North Node and Chiron, it is like examining those wounds, right? Examining where those things come from. This is all too about like when diving for light, one must be willing to bear the darkness and understand it has a purpose, much like winter does upon the earth. It is not an error or through lack of consciousness that you are here now. It is testament to your spiritual growth and creative process, not a sign that they are lacking or stalling. The healing process below will help you with your inward plunging. You also need to be vigilant against the darker forces within you. These are the voices that you may not expect, particularly if you are a pure-hearted being who typically resonates with love. These voices or feelings might surprise you with their dark intensity. They may be feelings of hate, terror, or wanting only to sleep because anything further is just too hard. You must stay in your heart and not believe these dark forces. Stay in compassion. So then we move on to the Two of Wands. This is looking towards the future, planning for what's next. We start with the Ace of Wands, which I know we don't have out here, but we start with the Ace of Wands, which is that spark, something new inspiration, a creative idea, something that you're passionate about. And then with the Two of Wands, it's like, okay, now what am I going to do with that? What possibilities are there? What actions can I take towards that thing? And this person is literally, like looking out to the future. Let me tell you, It is going to be a journey because we have the Nine of Wands paired with it. And the Nine of Wands is a wounded warrior. Again, though, nines are individual completion. So we have two nines on the table. Maybe you'll see nines, 999 around. But I mean, we can see that they're kind of beat up, right? And that's why I was saying, like, wands to me are also information, because that's what we get by trying things. It's those life lessons, right? Which a lot of times can kick our ass and kind of put us in this energy, right? But the message with the Nine of Wands is to rest but not give up. I mean, they're still standing, right? They might be beat up, but they're still standing. Even standing on their truth, standing on business, because they do have a sword there, and to me that would be the Ace of Swords, because tarot is all about symbolism and whatever. So the Ace of Swords is about truth, honesty, ideas, mindset. So this would be standing on business, standing in your truth. So it's kind of like, what you can look forward to is some life lessons, which, hey, you know what? Like, is there any other way that we would actually learn? I'm not sure, because, like, I feel like I've learned the most through the things that have genuinely kicked my butt. But I'm like, okay, heard. Like, I get it now, right? Like, ease up. Because if it would have just come in like a fluttering little butterfly, here you go, here's your lesson, I'd have been like, that was too easy. Or, yeah, right. You try it, like, let me try it myself. And then, I would just be like this. So, but also this, with it being a nine, okay, so whatever the lesson is, you are going to get it. The message is going to be received. And with the Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck, this is a card about standing your ground, defending your actions. So don't stop, like, don't quit when it gets hard. This is literally you standing up for yourself. I mean, it could literally be learning to put boundaries in place and stick to those boundaries. It could be discovering your own worth. Again, even standing on business, right? Like I said with the Nine of Wands. This is what I deserve. This is what I'm going to do. And all of these, wands that are coming up against you, you're like, whack, whack, whack. I see these six wands as being other people's projections, their fears, their doubts, their reasons why not. The whole thing of, if you set a boundary with a person and they get offended, it's because they benefited from your lack of boundaries. They were benefiting, not you. And they usually fight back against that. They usually, oh, my feelings are hurt, or I'm offended, or whatever. Then my neighbor's dog agrees. So stand your ground. We have the Death card behind that, which is a card of Scorpio. Right? Yeah. Which is water, which is interesting. But The death card is about something ending in order for something new to begin. Literally, anytime I see the death card, I always say new beginnings disguise themselves as endings, because something does have to end in order for something new to begin. Even just on this card, it looks like they're opening a veil and they're like inviting, come on in. Because truly the only way out is through, which is, like the vibe on this card too. Diving for light, going within. So, the card was saying this is something that the bravest of people will do, and truly it is the best thing that you could possibly ever do for yourself. As somebody who has also been on that journey, welcome. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.